Shania, great job describing your intent. Really fantastic. This is really important for students to include this kind of written rationale with the submission of your assignments, kind of describing your intent and your experience thus far with the project. And it's really important for me as an educator and for all of us, all of we educators and instructors and faculty here at RIMCAD, it allows us kind of a nice glimpse into the way you're learning, not only what you're learning, but how you're learning it. A lot of times I can tell, I can get as much information from writing as I can looking at the actual piece. So this is fantastic. Reading through this, you touch upon a couple of really super relevant points. So go with the elephants. I see this doesn't feel so much like a poster, and that's important stuff. I mean, if you look at it and it doesn't feel right to you, let us know. You know what I mean? That's what critique is all about. So, okay, I'm not sure what to do with the text as it reads. I'm not at all worried about the content. I think the content is fine, but I will talk about, because I agree with you, your comments on the typography. We'll take a look at that. I think there are strong enough words to get the message across. However, they are not strategically placed. I spend a lot of time on the leaves. So what more he does with the elephants as well. I don't think they're sending a message yet either. With that being said, here's what I started. All right, good job. Thank you. That gives me a really great place to start with your critique. So let's go ahead and jump over. Now listen, I think it looks great so far. I think it's a really good idea. Love the fact that the elephants aren't huge front and center. They're placed down here in a really strategically interesting place. A rule of thirds, that's fantastic. They are definitely the focal point, and the foliage looks really good. A couple of comments. I know the elephants aren't done yet, but they're not going to be visible enough with this current color configuration. I would recommend more contrast in a couple of areas. You've got some contrast starting on your foliage, right? You've got this darker green, and then the lighter green, and then an even lighter green. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3 shades of or 3 different values of the green. I would even add a little more contrast and maybe even get some darker leaves in there somewhere. And then you want to add some contrast to the shapes of the elephants. And that's just to have them stand out a little bit, just to ensure that they are, yes, the focal point. I think that the foliage could use some more texture in here a little bit, like how the leaves have veins through them. Not much. I don't want to draw too much attention away from the elephants, but I think a little texture in the foliage would be interesting as well. Try it, see what you think. Good layering here. This is fantastic. What the color does, these 3 different values of green, and adding a darker color too. Right here especially, it adds a really awesome sense of depth because of the overlap. And overlap is really going to be noticeable when you start adding a little bit more contrast in terms of a wider array of values associated with the green hue. Okay, and again, just more detail in the elephants. But this is definitely great. Enough here to decipher your intent and your layout, both conceptually and visually with the layout. I think it's fantastic. Now let's talk about the type. I agree. The type is very, it doesn't look like it's placed or designed, and I agree with that. So my recommendation is this: I don't want to direct you. I don't want to say, okay, this is what you do with the type, because I want you to do it, right? But what I will say is that I think what we're looking for is a way to really create a cohesive nature, a harmonious nature between type and image, okay? And it's going to entail some visual research. So get out there and take a look at posters and see how, look at nature posters. Look at illustrated, no, straight up Google illustrated nature posters and get some ideas from type and how you want to incorporate your type there. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not copying anything. You're doing visual research. And that is critical in all areas of graphic design. So those are my recommendations. I think you're off to a really fantastic start. But I'll tell you what, if at this point moving forward, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if I can provide any further clarification, please let me know. But I love the direction this is going, definitely. Wondering about the yellow. It looks like they're on like some sort of a path, but I'm wondering about the yellow. Maybe try to get that back to some sort of a darker earth tone. I know that you're trying to draw attention to that area, and I think the yellow is just maybe a little overkill. So think about an earth tone there. But other than that, yeah, it's just a fantastic start. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this one progress. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns, clarifications? Please let me know.